The loss of water from the aerial parts of the leaf during a sunny day is known as transpiration. We have already discussed in details about various types of transpiration, and today we will be discussing about the factors affecting the rate of transpiration. The first factor is humidity. Humidity means the water content within the atmosphere. So, the rate of transpiration depends upon the difference in the vapor pressure of the internal atmosphere of the leaf. So, the inside of the leaf, it means those spongy parenchyma cells or the mesophyll cells where the air spaces are there, that area, along with the external atmosphere of the environment. If the outer air is humid, it will reduce the diffusion of the water vapor from the intercellular spaces of the leaf to the outer atmosphere. In other words, the rate of transpiration decreases with the increase in relative humidity of the atmosphere. The rate of transpiration is enhanced by lowering the atmospheric humidity. Lower the humidity, more is the rate of transpiration. The rate of transpiration is increased with the increase in atmospheric temperature because rise in the temperature increases the rate of water evaporation or transpiration from the cell surfaces, opening the stomata, and it also decreases the relative humidity of the atmosphere. So all these conditions favor the process of transpiration. Although light is not directly affecting the rate of transpiration, but it indirectly affects the rate of transpiration by opening of the stomata and increasing the temperature. If all other conditions like water supply, leaf temperature, and other factors are adequate, then the light induces stomatal opening and darkness stomatal closure. So, thus, the rate of transpiration is always increased with the light intensity, with increase in light intensity, and it gets lowered with decrease in light intensity. Um, Transpiring surface of a leaf continuously adds water vapor to the atmospheric air. Once the immediate area becomes saturated, it reduces the rate of transpiration. Wind velocity removes the air of that area, which is replaced by the fresh air, and this results in an increase in the rate of transpiration. Higher the wind velocity, uh, sometimes higher wind velocity decreases the rate of transpiration because it causes hindrance in diffusion and results in stomatal closure by lowering the temperature of the transpiring surface, which is the guard cells. Next is about the atmospheric pressure. Lowering the atmospheric pressure reduces the density of environment, which permits more rapid diffusion of water vapor. For example, think about plants growing at hills. They show higher rate of transpiration, but this effect is neutralized by lower temperature prevailing at the hills. With the result, transpiration is normal in the plants growing even in the hilly areas. Carbon dioxide concentration, if there is more amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere to a certain level, it will be helpful for the process of transpiration. But if the concentration of carbon dioxide increases inside the leaf, and uh, even if it increases inside the leaf, then the rate of transpiration will be ruled out. Like there will be no as such change in the transpiration because of increased amount of carbon dioxide inside the leaf. Basically, think that the leaf is already saturated with lot of carbon dioxide within it. Already dark reaction is going on. Now what is the need of carbon dioxide for the leaf? There is no need. So that's why the rate of carbon dioxide will affect the rate of transpiration, but only up to a certain level. Unless that level is reached, there will be requirement of carbon dioxide, but after that there is no requirement as such. Water supply is also an important factor, because the rate of if the available water in the soil is not sufficient for the rate of transpiration, then the rate of transpiration will decrease, and as a result there will be water deficiency and the stomata will tend to close. So these are some of the external factors which affect the rate of transpiration. The next factor is the leaf structure. So we have already discussed about the adaptations of the plants, because of which they lower the rate of water loss by the process of transpiration. Some of the causes where, or some of the ways where thicker cuticle, waxy coating over the cuticle, sometimes seborrheic deposition over the cuticle, shrunken stomata, the stomata do not open at all, lower number of stomata present in the lower epidermal regions. These all are the factors which are internal factors of the leaf, which can reduce the rate of transpiration. Even sometimes the surface area of the leaf is reduced by small size of the leaves. That is also a very important factor for the rate of transpiration. And even the age of the plant is also very important. If the plant is very old, then the leaves will be old, and the leaves will have very less stomatal aperture present. And as the seed becomes as the plant becomes older, the rate of transpiration also tends to decrease in those plants. So these are all the factors for the internal part of the leaf, or which affects the internal factors for the rate of transpiration, whereas all the external factors we have already discussed. If we think in only about the external factors, light, how is it affecting? Transpiration is increasing with the bright light. The stomata open wider, and that's why more transpiration occurs. What about temperature? It is also affecting the rate of transpiration directly, because again the same thing, stomata will open and the water molecules will be lost to the stomata. What about the wind? Transpiration is faster when it is present in windy condition, because the water vapor is removed quickly from the outer atmosphere, which is close by to the leaf, and as a result there is less amount of water present in the outer atmosphere as compared to inside of the leaf, and that's why quick diffusion occurs. Humidity, transpiration is lower in humid conditions, because already water is laden in the atmosphere. Atmosphere is laden with water. That's why the rate of transpiration is reduced during humid condition. Now this is a very special diagram where you can see the tip of a vertical section of a leaf. You can see a hydathode pore at the top. Now that is the most important part. You have to learn the spelling of hydathode and where is it located. There is a process which takes place from this hydathode, and the process is known as exudation or guttation. The process of exudation of liquid drops from the edges of the leaves is called guttation, and this normally takes place through the stomatal like pores called the hydathode. We saw that pore at the tip of the leaf leaf margin. Exudation sometimes occurs from the stem as well, or even through the scars of the leaf, even from the lenticels. But it is important and evident that you always remember that it takes place through the hydathodes. Hydathodes are small pores which are present in the tip or the margins of the leaf of most of the plants which grow in shady places. Pores are present over a mass of loosely arranged cells with large intracellular spaces called the epitheme. You can see epitheme. And when these mass of tissue lies above a vein ending, just above the vein ending is lying the epitheme, and above it is lying the hydathode. The xylem of a small vein usually terminates among the thin walled parenchymatous cells of the epitheme, and due to the root pressure, water is forced out through these intracellular spaces and flows out through the hydathodes. The amount and quality of uh, water loss is in the form of water droplets. Exudation can be in during the process of exudation, pure water to dilute solution of organic or inorganic solvents, solutes, is exuded out, and the drop of water which is exuded out from the hydathode, it contains some amount of solutes within it. It only occurs during the night and it stops during the daytime. Guttation is something which takes place because of the root pressure, and it also creates favorable condition for the entrance of pathogenic organisms like the fungi and bacteria inside the leaf. So some of the places where we can see, first thing is, how is it caused? It is caused because of the root pressure. And some of the places or the sites where you can find out the exudation taking place is the maize leaf, strawberry leaf. You will see that at the margins of the leaf there are droplets of water present, and those all droplets will be visible in the early morning, because during the night there is no transpiration taking place as the stomata is closed, but the root pressure is still acting, and as a result water has to come out in some way, and those hydathodes are selected as the pores for the removal of excess water. Again, the same structure is shown. You should not get confused with the dewdrop and the removal of water by the process of exudation. It's quite easy to understand, because whenever you see the structure of a leaf, you will find that in case of leaf, you will see that water droplet will be present only at the margins of the leaf. These will be the sites where you will be able to see the droplets of water. You won't be able to find it anywhere else. Only at the margins of the leaf there will be presence of the water. Again, the same diagram is shown over here, and you can read it and try to understand. Just it's a colorful diagram so that it becomes quite evident that where is the location of hydathod and what is this epitheme, and it is just close to the vascular bundle or the xylem, so that water can very easily move out. Next process is bleeding. Bleeding occurs due to pressure of cell sap within the tissues and conducts water and sugars around the plants. You can a very simple example for bleeding is just pluck a leaf from any plant. You will see that some water comes out from that plucked portion of the leaf. That is known as bleeding. Now, it can occur because of different activities. First, it can be because of incision, if it is made in the root or stem of a well watered young plant. So, the xylem sap oozes out due to root pressure. Exudation of xylem sap due to local pressure is developed in the stems. For example, sometimes if a hole is drilled inside a tree, at that time you will see that water exudes, not water, cell sap exudes out. Some of the time, even the stems of or palm is cut, and it's not exactly cut. The stem of palm is incisioned in order to draw out the liquid from it. Sometimes exudation of latex or rubber can be seen from the plants, and it is also collected, or harvesting is done with the help of this process. So generally bleeding just means that removal of the cell sap because of the same region that the plant is not aware that it has lost that portion of it itself. Rubber plant, I hope you all remember, we cut a small portion, and then after the liquid which comes out is collected, and it can be used in order to form rubber. I hope you all have understood the difference between the process of guttation and bleeding. During the process of bleeding, water comes out, or the cell sap comes out from any portion of the plant. It can be a not a leaf margin exactly. It can be the leaf if it is completely uprooted from the plant. If it can be a portion of the stem, it can be a branch. If anything is cut in a plant body, it will exude some liquid, and that liquid is known as the bleeding, or that process is known as bleeding. Whereas guttation is a process which takes place only from the leaf margins and only during the night, not during the daytime, and it is occurring because of root pressure.